Alright guys, welcome back. CFP here, and this is Survival Living. So, I'm actually out on the front porch. I just saw a Canadian prepper's recent release video. He's talking about the Russian stock market crashing. It's actually down 17 points, and I went ahead and confirmed that on my end. Took a look at some things. Uh, Guys, I've been saying this for a while now. Yes, I am former military, so I do have some insight in this. War is big business. I've been talking about how the economy worldwide is in the tanker, and war has always generated money. So don't be surprised, guys. Lady T, how are you doing? Wanted American, how are you doing? Don't be surprised, guys, if we see Russia moving in. Now, Canadian Prepper said that he expects within the next 24 hours. Hey guys, it might be. I don't like putting dates and times on things because we don't have control over what's going on. We're just able to look at things and prepare accordingly. So yeah, Russia's stock market took a major dive, a 17% down. That's one of the things I like about Canadian Prepper. He's really good on the economics of things, always keeping track of things. And of course, being a bigger channel like him, he's able to make more contacts than I've got. Same with Marfugal TV, Marfugal News. I'm pretty sure Adam there, Marfugal News, is probably right on top of this. He's probably going to be doing a video very soon on this, more in depth with some articles and link for you guys. So keep an eye out for that. He's usually on top of things with decks. So we know that the Russian-backed separatist groups there in Ukraine, and I do apologize for my enunciation on things, guys. I got injured a long time ago. I got electrocuted, and sometimes my speech isn't as par, and a lot of people get upset with that. Well, hey, I don't point at your disabilities. So moving forward, you know what I'm saying, and it's what I'm trying to say. Now, with Russia now accepting these guys as the Russian separatist groups there in Ukraine, and now identifying them and acknowledge that they're their own separate statehood, their own entity, their own country, that's not going to go over good, guys, because now that Russia backs them up, which we already knew they were, but now they're saying that they are their own entity and everything, war's coming. And war is not just going to be there in Ukraine, guys. It's not. It's going to spill out all over Europe. It's going to be all over there. We will see Iran. Iran's been pushing hard on enriched uranium. They didn't like much last time I checked in on them, guys. Market dropped 17%. Yeah, silver bucket. We're going to see a lot. They're going to be a major player. They are. We're going to see a lot of stuff with Syria and stuff like that too. They might wind up being patsies for a lot of stuff, but they're going to be a major player as well. Now, as far as the states, guys, I'm still saying stay stocked, stay ready. Even if it stayed over there, we're going to be affected on the world economy part as far as shipment. We import over 70% of our fresh fruits and vegetables here in the United States, and we import it. A global war, good luck getting fresh fruits and vegetables, okay? I'm just saying, this stuff, our supply and demand, our supply chain is so intertwined like a spider web. The slightest thing mess up, it all goes down. Case in point, the last 2 years were shut down. Another case in point, all those cargo ships, and by the way, we still got a lot of cargo ships just sitting there. We don't know what's on those cargo ships. We talked about K-Club missile systems. Crude almost 94, gold at 1912, Gary. That's not a bad crude. I mean, it's still high, don't get me wrong, guys. But I do remember seeing crude higher than that before. I expect it to go up. Propane, natural gas, things like that, guys, that's going to go up too. I've always talked about trying to get things stocked up and ready. A lot of people like to come on here and yell at me, oh, you're fear porn, you're fear. Dude, I'm a prepper. All I'm doing is laying out facts and information that I am seeing, and I discuss how we prepare. Fortunately for us, most of us all are on the same page. The trucker convoy is massive here in the United States. I would suggest that everybody to get some freaking food because deliveries aren't going to be happening. I agree with you on that to an extent, Lady T. Fortunately for us, most of the trucking industry, it's only a small percent, is actually independent truck driver systems. I was a truck driver for a while. I used to drive for Tri-State out of Toledo, Ohio, and I used to deliver automotive parts and other things. I delivered some rocket engines there in California. I've been all over the United States as a truck driver, and most of it's independent. The minority of truck drivers is independent drivers. Most of it is companies have their own dedicated trucking companies. But the fact is, we have seen where they've shut down food and things like that. They always try to blame the truckers for things. They're always trying to pass the buck on somebody else. And all it takes is them to say, we're not shipping it. But if we have a supply and demand issue, and which will happen during a global conflict, you better be ready with your preps. Now, we've talked about canned goods, dry goods, guys. We've talked about that. We also talk about growing a garden. You want to have enough food put back so that while you're growing your garden, you can still eat. And if you have a bad garden season, anything can happen from contaminants to pests. Just the weather. All right, the weather's doing some crazy, funky stuff right now. If you guys haven't been paying attention, all it takes is something like that and destroy your entire garden. And if you've only packed, 2 months supply of food and you're dependent on a garden, and you don't have a garden in the ground right now and you haven't been practicing on gardening and canning food, you're in for a world of hurt. Always have food. I say a minimum of a year. That's my guideline. Every channel will have a different guideline, and that's for them, whatever. We have 2 year supply of canned goods, dry goods, and then we have our long-term food storage. We've got a lot of seeds put back, and we're starting to, right now I'm waiting on the first just to make sure the weather's going to be decent, because I've lost crops down here in Florida. It'll be 83 degrees one day and then drop down to 28 degrees at night. Just boom. That shock. I mean, I've seen comments, well, I'll just cover it up with newspaper or plastic. That massive amount of shock can kill your plants. So growing in Florida is difficult. I've grown all over the place. Florida is a new beast in itself. Can it be done? Absolutely. I've shown that on our garden videos. We've grown before out here. But I've also shown where a windstorm come out of nowhere and break every corn crop I had and put it down to the ground. Just out of nowhere, just destroyed the garden. It happens. So anyway, guys, just a real quick update for you guys. Let me see if I can get in the chat here. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm way behind. Virginia Roots, good to see you. Mona Lisa, always good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Grace, good to see you, my friend. How are you doing? Gas will go up fast. Wanted American. Yes, it will. Make sure you are topped off on your vehicle. If you're dependent on a gasoline generator for power, guys, make sure you got gas in storage. We have solar generators. We got solar and stuff like that. Most of our equipment, we've invested in EMP shield for protecting on like our solar grid, our vehicle. We also went the cheaper end on some things, and it's not cheap, trust me. Faraday Defense on making EMP protection bags, Faraday cages, things like that. We've shown these things, guys. We got them in the video playlist. Before, when I get affiliated with a company, usually I'm buying the product first and testing them out. I don't just get a free product and say, hey guys, we're affiliate. I always get the product first, test it out, make sure it's somebody I want to work with. So we always showing stuff like that, guys. Be ready for cyber attacks. They like doing cyber attacks. Ukraine's going to be getting hit by a bunch more. Now, could all have this been because of a FF event? Is it because we pushed, the American government pushed them along with NATO to start a war? You know what? It doesn't matter. To me, it does not matter. The fact is, it's coming, and that's what we're preparing for. I don't care who started Jack. All I know is that when it happens, I need to make sure I can feed my family. I need to make sure I can purify water. I need to make sure I can produce heat or cooling of the house. And yeah, down here in Florida, during the summer months, you better have a way of cooling your home. I don't mean you have to have a central air unit, but you better be able to move some air, even if it's just a box fan. Same with Louisiana, Mississippi. I lived all these places in the summertime without power. Oh, it's rough. Now, I've also seen the comments, well, people live without power many generations. And this is true. But if your body's not acclimated for that, since we are a pampered generation, several generations now, of air-conditioned central air, central heat, when it comes down to it, it's rough. Especially with food storage. If you're relying on a chest freezer that requires electricity, if you're relying to store all your food in the refrigerator and there's no power and you have no backup, you better have some canned goods. I've also seen the debate on, we show dry beans and we also show canned beans. And, well, you don't understand, it uses a lot of fuel. I do understand that. That's why I have multiple ways of cooking. I don't rely on one thing. No one should. And I think most of these people that say that are trollish, because I believe all of us preppers, we already know that. We do things in sets of threes, all right? 3 ways of cooking food. And believe it or not, guys, actually you guys probably know it because I've already shown you this many times. A regular campfire in the backyard to cook up a lot. Now, see in the comments, well, you start cooking outdoors, people's going to be coming. When they shut the power down, everybody's going to be cooking outdoors. And if you're going to be cooking outdoors, you better have your security detail in place. That's why I always say work with a group. Even a small group of 5 to 6 individuals watching the perimeter while one's cooking can be done. Now, is that how large my group is? You'll never know. I don't give every bit of information out on YouTube. I just give you ideas and things that we do around the place. Everyone's like, what about OPSEC? No, I do plenty of OPSEC. I only show and tell you what I want you to know. That's it. So guys, keep an eye out there on Marfigo TV. It's Monday, so usually they do one on Monday. He will have a lot more information for you guys. Dusty Data, good to see you, brother. Prep up stored water. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. I'm really worried about this with Potato Head in charge. I want to jump on the bandwagon with you on that one, my friend. The fact is, I believe most of our political structures, governments and stuff all work hand in hand. We're overdue for a conflict. We have been for a very long time. But the fact is, resources and financial is usually one of the biggest things for conflict. It is. And we know conflict is going bad. Gardner Josh, good to see you, brother. How are you doing? Tennessee Tactical, how's it going, my friend? All right, guys, so let me wrap up. And again, no one has to agree with me one bit. These are my thoughts. These are things I'm seeing. That's why we have a YouTube channel, so I can sit there and give you this bit of information that I'm seeing. And I'm sorry it's a crappy live stream. I'm on my cell phone. I just want to get that information to you. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Keep an eye open for Marfigo TV. Also, go check out Canadian Prepper's last video. It's got a lot of great information. Prepping's not for scaring anybody. It's just getting you ready. That way when shit hits the fan, you're already ready to rock and roll. All right, guys. Y'all be safe. Just be ready.